Welcome back everybody to another Predecessor video. Today we are doing a long-awaited guide for Zarus, or Zarus, however you like to pronounce it. This is a kind of beginner's guide. I'm not going to be going too in-depth, but this will cover all of the abilities, what they do, how to use them together, and roughly what to build and how to posture in lane. If any of this video helps you out, feel free to leave a like, and let me know who you want to see next down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's begin. First up is Zarus' Spear of Near. You hurl your spear forward, you deal damage, you deal increased damage against targets below 20% HP, you deal less damage to minions, but it is a fantastic little poke. It does hit in an AoE, so keep that in mind, especially when you're clearing waves. This will cover a good bit of area as long as you line yourself up nicely. If you release it early, you do the little jab. If you hold, you do the charge. You've got a decent amount of time to throw it. At the end, it will throw on its own. If you don't let go, it'll just throw it anywhere. It won't just go away. It is important to note that the cooldown is significantly reduced when you don't throw, but rather just do a little jab. You can see there that was a 6-second cooldown, and if I do just a regular old jab, it is only 3 seconds. It's a 50% cooldown reduction if you only do the jab and not the throw. I highly recommend trying to do the jab as much as possible as opposed to the throw, because you'll just have like twice as much DPS. Up next, we've got his Q. His Q is Barricade, which is basically this shield that comes up. You've got a certain amount of time. At the end, it'll automatically hit. You can release it early to do the hit and the stun. This will gain damage reduction, which is fantastic during its duration. You recast at any time, you'll do that stun for about half a second. It does some good damage, and it does more damage the longer you hold it. Up next is Evade, the Dash, which is a very nice little boost in any direction that you are moving in. If you are not moving at all, you will simply go forwards, but you can go in any direction. You can even combine inputs to go diagonally, or if you're on console, you just go in whatever direction you are pointing your joystick. The other nice thing is it gives you attack speed for 4 seconds. It's kind of the big thing about it. You do that, you get massive attack speed buff. It is fantastic for dealing really good damage. Alright, before we talk about his ultimate, I want to cover his passive. You gain stacks of Gladiator every time you deal damage to non-minions. This does apply multiple times if you hit multiple people with your AoE right-click or your AoE shield. Because that is also an area of effect. It happens in a little cone in front of you. So you'll get multiple stacks if you hit multiple targets. Stacks will fall off after 5 seconds. When they fall off, they are consumed to regenerate some of your health. But otherwise, up to 8 stacks you get 2 physical power per stack. It is fantastic for kind of scaling yourself, and the speed boost that you get is fantastic for that, the attack speed boost, because you just get so many quick jabs in that you just get those stacks very quickly. Up next is Coliseum. You leap at a hero, creating a Coliseum. It deals damage to the target hero. It lasts for about 6 seconds. The bonus is doubled from the passive, so you're going to get additional physical power, which is amazing. If the target is killed, you gain permanent physical power. This cannot be understated. This is a fantastic scaling ability. Just use this as often as you can early on, and recasting the ability will end it early. So you can jump on someone, you can stab, you can do all your things. You ideally want to kill, you can recast to cancel it early. So this is a fantastic little ability for trapping your opponents. It's basically like a large Decker cage. So highly recommend using that as often as you can. Alright, in the practice tool here, I have turned off cooldowns just so that I can show you the combos. So the ultimate is kind of the key thing. You do get 1 stack of Gladiator off that little initial jump. But essentially what you want to try and do in the early game before you even have your ultimate available, or if you have it and just don't want to spend it yet, your kind of key thing is going to be to dash in, get your jabs off, and then you also want to do your right clicks like as soon as you dash in. You don't want to, because that'll get you kind of close the gap, right? And then you don't want to have to throw it but getting that initial jab off means that the reduced cooldown, by the time you're done using your attack speed from your E, you're going to be pretty darn close to having the right mouse button off cooldown again. The Q, depending on who you're going up against, I highly recommend conserving it and waiting for them to use one of their big kind of predictable moves. It does have quite a substantial cooldown. If I just quickly pop over here, the cooldown on this thing, this is late game, and it has 7 seconds, but that's with everything that I have for my kind of late game build. So like early on, it's going to be a really high cooldown. You're going to have to be waiting like, I think it's almost like 20 seconds or something for this thing to come back. So you're going to want to use it sparingly. Only really use it when you need that stun or you need that damage reduction. The longer you have it protecting yourself, the more damage reduction you get out of it. And you can move at full speed while you have it, so it's a really good tool to retreat and get into safety. Now, your big ultimate combo, it is going to vary a bit depending on how far away you are, because there is a bit of a short range on this ability. It's about the range of your dash. So kind of what I recommend is just kind of gauge how far you are. You either dash and then ult, or you can ult and then use the dash to keep up with them, because usually they're going to use a movement ability right away trying to avoid your ability. And as soon as you close that gap, they're going to move and you follow them with that. If they have high mobility, try not to use your E until they use their movement, because you want to make sure that you are keeping that distance closed. You don't want to use your cooldown and then let them get away from you, right? So yeah, I recommend using this. Use your E if you can, nice and quickly. Do the right mouse buttons often. But kind of what you'll see often is you'll jump in, you'll do your right mouse button, you'll just throw some attacks in, and then when they try to get away, you can use your dash. Otherwise, you dash in, you ult, right mouse, and then you use your attack speed that you get from your E. And then, like I say, use your Q more responsively. It's more of a reaction tool than a engagement tool. If you think that it will help you secure the kill, go for it. I mean, more damage, right? You're never going to give that up. And the stun will never let you down. So, I highly recommend using those abilities thusly. In terms of build, go for this more kind of tanky build, typically. I highly recommend watching Soul Reaper's offlane build guide that he did about a month ago as of recording this video. But essentially the one I use, I kind of adapt it based off of the suggestions that he made. But I'll usually start with augmentation. Where is it? Augmentation, this guy here. Empowering your basic attacks when you use abilities. This is great for, you're going to be throwing your right mouse button often, so getting that boost to your next basic attack is going to be fantastic for the true damage. Then I highly recommend Elefrost. It's just really strong right now. Really, really good item. In terms of magic resist, Crystalline Curious is fantastic. If you're up against like a Countess or something, I recommend going for Tainted Bastion. It is also a fantastic way to get that anti-heal, right? Alternatively to augmentation, a lot of people like to go Mutilator. It is really good. I just find less consistency on it myself with my playstyle. So I highly recommend kind of experimenting and seeing what you like. I don't typically go into Draconum or Salvation or Tectonic like the game suggests. However, I will often go Tainted Blade instead of Citadel if I'm doing well or if the enemy team just has a lot of healing. Stonewall, I like to end pretty much every offlane build with Stonewall. That huge physical armor and mitigation of physical damage is fantastic. You can't really go wrong with that. I don't know how many honorable mentions there are. I'm just taking a quick look over. Unbroken Will is good if you're up against like a Steel or going into a lot of like heavy CC, the really hard CC. That can be a good one to go. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot that really stands out to me. Tainted can be alright as well. Tainted Guard can be alright, but this is a little I think as is, you get a real good tank build out of just these items here. If you want to go for more damage, I think Mutilator's good. I think that Tainted Blade is really good. So kind of use those as you wish, but that's kind of my loose suggestion. As for how to play the lane, I think that kind of posturing up around your cooldown of your right mouse button is kind of the key. You don't really want to be going too aggressive if you don't have it. If you're being bullied out of lane and you need to play more passive using the thrown spear, it has a lot more range than you might think. It can hit from that far away. Using that to secure last hits can be good. Just keep in mind that even though their health bar might be red, that's based off of your basic attack damage, and you are going to be dealing only 75% of damage with your thrown spear to minions, because they don't take as much damage from your spear. So got to keep in mind, let that red bar go a little lower than you would otherwise go for. Try and let it get as low as you can. I mean, technically, that's how you should do it all the time anyway. But let that kind of red bar get down and then throw your spear. Alright, and that's going to do it for this guide. If you liked it, hit that like button down below. If you want to see a new or a different character, let me know down in the comment section. I've been really enjoying making these videos. I know I kind of disappeared for a while, but I'm back and I am going at it. So let me know what kind of content you want to see. Without further ado, have a lovely rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, and night. Bye-bye.